Outside of the square space station, the silver spaceships were shooting through the dark night time. It was a new and very clean spaceship. The sad girl robot with the triangular head was having to wash all of the clothes, but she would rather have been looking after the animals. She liked the animals, they were her friends, and she would look at them with her little round eyes and give them their food. If you looked at her face while she washed the shirts, she looked as if she was happy, because she had a small, smiley mouth. It was only her mouth that was happy. It was painted into a smile, and she couldn't change the way it looked. Really, she had a sad feeling inside of all of her machinery. She didn't have a heart, and she would try to stop a small, oily tear going down her cheek by thinking about the tall green trees in the farm on the station. She knew that when she finished her work, she would be able to go to the farm and look after her animals. She knew that she had to look after her strong hands with all of their muscles and make sure that they were completely dry after doing all of the washing. If she didn't, then they would get rusty, and she would not be able to move her fingers. One of the things that made her feel happy was to dive in and out of the space station in the dark of the night and swim between the rockets, and she knew that she would do that after she had fed the animals on the farm. On her propeller legs and circular feet, she made her way down to the farm. While she was feeding all of the friendly animals, she found something in the ground that looked like a spoon under one of the tall green trees. She didn't know what it was, but she knew it should not have been there. She went over to the round window and looked outside and into the dark. She could see that bits of the silvery space station were floating around.
"I think the space station must be breaking up,"
she said, and she knew that she would have to go out and swim in space to bring them back to fix the ship. She used a long piece of metal on the fin of the station that looked just like a diving board to jump out into space. She swam and swam between the rockets to pick up the bits that had fallen from the outside of the new clean station and brought them back. Everyone got to hear about how good she had been, and soon she had lots of friends who wanted her to stay and sit and eat with them. When they were having spoonfuls of yogurt, she would smile and feel really happy and eat another spoonful of thick, greasy engine oil. He was the kindest robot in the world, and now he was going to the bottom of the tall, shiny, golden spaceship to get some soft sand for the good girl. She was always happy and never sad, and she wanted to make a sand castle, as it would make her think about being at the seaside. They were in outer space, and it was icy cold outside and a long way away from the Earth. The robot had sharp, spiky blue hair and square blue eyes, and he looked about the great pile of sand and was scooping it up into the sweetie tube to take to the girl. She had asked him to get it for her because he didn't have wheels and he didn't have walking legs. He had short legs that blew out jets of red steam that made him fly over the gritty sand. All of the other robots would have got stuck in the sand and wouldn't have been able to work if they got sand inside of their arms and legs. He was a strong robot with a broken speaker for his mouth, but he was always smiling and talking in a scratchy voice.
"Yes, I would like to do that for you,"
he would say.
"Can I help you?"
Whenever he could, because he was a very friendly robot. He was not the strongest robot, but he would try his best to help, even though his body was wide and thin, And now he held the sweetie tube in his pincers that looked like crab's claws, and he could hear something or someone in the sand. He blew some of the sand away with his red fiery jet, and he saw a boot, an iron boot, sticking out of the heaped sand. He knew it was the iron boot of one of the bigger, stronger robots.
Who is there?
He said.
Can I help you?
He cried. The voice shouted,
Help me. I fell through a hole in the spaceship and into the sand, and now I am stuck and my arms and legs won't move. Please help me.
The boy might not have been the strongest, but he was the kindest, and he blew all of the sand away from the trapped robot and set him free. He used his pincers to cut the hole bigger to get the robot free. He had to use all of his strength to mend the hole, but he and the big robot became the best of friends, and the girl had 2 robots to help her make sandcastles. By the light of the round yellow moon.